Hello, it is November. What? How? Help. I am so excited to be sitting down and filming another books video. It's no secret that reading has become my favorite new activity of 2020, so I think this would be a fun little series. Normally I share books that I've already read and like my recommendations that way, but today I wanted to switch it up and share 5 books that I'm currently reading / going to be reading before the end of the year. Read along with me, get some future inspo. We can like discuss kind of like my book club, which another little shameless self promo. I got a book club, BEA'S book club if you want to join it. I will link it down below. And 2 of the books that I will be reading before the end of the year are actually from my book of the month subscription, and they are actually partnering with me on this video. So thank you so much to Book of the Month. For those of you who are not familiar, Book of the Month is a fast growing, super popular online book subscription service. They promote new and emerging authors so you can discover new titles and branch out from your usual genre or author. I know I am the first to admit that I will always go back to my thrillers, and it just makes it fun and exciting to like discover new titles, especially new releases or early releases. So their team actually curates 5 books every single month from hundreds and hundreds of new titles, so it's not overwhelming. You don't have to research. I think that's like the best part to me, especially when you're getting into reading. I think it's so hard to know where to begin when there's so many books out there and you don't even know like what kind of book is your vibe. This subscription begins at $14.99 a month, which is the best price for new release hardcover fiction, and you can skip any month, anytime, and you will not be charged. And you can actually get your first book of the month for only $9.99 with my code SAYBOOK using the link down in the description box below. The November picks of the month are so good. I had such a hard time narrowing it down which one I wanted, but they've got everything from a young adult to a contemporary fiction, literary fiction, a romance, and even a thriller, which you know I had to have. So I picked out 2 out of their 5 books that they have for the month, and I will be reading these before the end of the year. So let's dive into the first one, shall we? The first book that I will be reading before 2020 is over is called This Time Next Year. This is by the author Sophie Cousins. I cannot wait to go home for the holidays and read this by the fire with a glass of wine. Just having like a physical book, it just hits different, you know? So this book is about 2 people, Minnie and Quinn, and they have seemingly nothing in common on the surface. They meet at a New Year's Eve party. Quinn is like your typical privileged party boy, thinks the world should be just like handed to him on a silver platter. Minnie is like the total opposite. She's a hardworking realist, not super confident in herself or her abilities, and they have absolutely nothing in common except for the sheer coincidence that they were born at the same place, same time 30 years ago. And they don't believe that opposites attract by any means, yet they keep bumping into each other, and they start to wonder, is there a reason behind this? Is the universe pushing us together? And it just leaves them more and more confused. Yeah, I'm just really excited to read this because it sounds so cute. I haven't read like an opposites attract book in a while, and it just kind of sounds like that cute like holiday movie that I would totally watch, but I'm saving this until it gets closer to New Year's Eve because I feel like this will be just kind of book that I will want to read when I'm back home for the holidays. And the second and last book that I picked up from the November Book of the Month picks is called Pretty Little Wife. When I was reading the summary of this definitely sounds like the type of book that I would normally gravitate towards. It's a suspense thriller, which you guys know I love. And also wife. Why do I always pick books that have wife in the title? My lovely wife, the wives, the wife between us, Pretty Little Wife. Like, is there something to that? I don't know. I clearly have a type. Anyway, this book is by a debut author, Darby Kane, so I'm very excited to see what they're all about. But this story follows a woman named Lila who lives in a college town, which definitely is a little more sinister than it seems on the surface because a student goes missing a couple months ago, then her husband actually goes missing, and she starts to see like some commonalities, and she starts to find the connection between these disappearances, and I think there's actually a 3rd disappearance in this town, so something is up. And her husband actually teaches in this town, and everybody is, you know, really upset by their missing teacher that they love so much, except for Lila, and she's very confused because she was actually the last person to see her husband's body, and now he's missing. So this tagline of there's more than one way to end a marriage sounds like Lila could be suspicious. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. It sounds different than the recent thrillers that I've been reading, so TBD on this. But again, both of these books are available on a Book of the Month right now. You can get either of them for $9.99 with the code SAYBOOK and using the link in my description box below. So definitely recommend checking them out, as well as their other 3 books that they have for the month. They all look really good. So let me know in the comments comments below which one you end up picking up. So I normally don't talk about our book club picks of the month, but for the month of November, we are actually reading The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And if you want to join us for weekly discussions, as well as an end of the month live chat or a video chat, just depending on which tier you join, I will link my book club down below. It's so much fun. I have a feeling this is going to be the best book club pick yet. I've heard such good things about this book. So I just started it, but this book centers around a wedding and all of the guests at the wedding, hence The Guest List. And the wedding actually takes place on an island off the coast of Ireland, so it's very isolated. But amidst all of the festivities, celebrations of the wedding, somebody turns up dead. Dun dun dun. So the book starts off with the revelation of something suspicious happening, but the book actually kind of shifts, like I said, in timelines, like right before the wedding, leading up to it, as well as the actual wedding day, and it shifts from different perspectives of all the different wedding guests. So far, so good. It kind of reminds me so far of The Perfect Couple, which is another book that I read earlier this year about a wedding and a death at the wedding and different perspectives, although it's mostly from like the detective's point of view and stuff like that. But that's a book I also really enjoyed, so I'm excited to continue with this one. The fourth book I'm going to be reading before the end of the year is because I am just about to get off the wait list at the library, so I can't wait. I have had this on the queue for so long, but it's called Maybe Someday by one of my favorite authors, and that is, no surprise, Colleen Hoover. We love Coho, so I'll probably start reading this within the next week or two, depending on how long it takes me to read the guest list, but might read them at the same time. I've read, I think, 3 books from Coho this year, and a lot of you love her books as well, and have recommended this one to me. But Maybe Someday is about a girl named Sydney who has seemingly everything great going on for her. She's got a great job, she's also a student, lives with her best friend, has a great boyfriend, until the boyfriend she discovers is actually cheating on her, so her life kind of, you know, turns upside down, and she starts to go through the process of trying to get over a heartbreak and the betrayal. And around this time, she starts to become more aware of her mysterious musician neighbor. He's always playing music, so she starts focusing on him and trying to simultaneously get over her ex, but she finds it to be more difficult than she anticipated. But yeah, I just thought this sounded so cute and just very relevant and relatable to a lot of us. I feel like a lot of us could resonate with this book. I know I can already just by that summary. Her books always like tug on my heartstrings or just have a really like relatable storyline. I mean, not Verity, but that one was a little crazy, but in the best way. I just feel like I need one more of her books before the end of the year. And the last book that I know for sure I'm going to want to read before the end of the year is called Winging It. And this is actually a pretty new book. I think it came out in September. As a lot of you know, I've been making a tremendous effort not to read any self-improvement books this year because that's all I used to read, and it just got a little much for me. But so far, the one that I allowed myself to read this year was like such a game changer for me and has helped me so much, and was like one of my most highlighted books in my Kindle ever. I just like to end the year on a good note and start the new year off fresh and inspired. But this book is just about how to let go of that perfectionist attitude and just start winging things. You don't have to have everything figured out before you dive into it, and that's just something that I like need to drill into my head because it's just, that is totally what I do all the time. This author founded a multi-million-dollar global organization. She started her company at 18. She's also a mother of 6, so she's really balancing it all. So she's just a very successful entrepreneur and leader, and her message and like rally to women in this book is just to do more of what scares you, build your wealth, make an impact, fail over and over again, get up, try again. And that just really resonates with me because that's like the story of my life. I am constantly overthinking and over preparing things. Alex actually brought this to my attention like I didn't know. I don't know why that's just so hard for me to do, but I feel like I have to have everything so perfect and know the answers to everything and be like an expert before I launch something, before I launch a company or a product or even just a business venture. That will often lead to me doing more planning than executing. And like, what's an idea if you're not executing? It's just an idea. So I feel like this book will just be a really great reminder and have some good tips on how to stop holding yourself back and your fears and insecurities, and just to dive into things and then figure it out, you know, like figure it out along the way. But yeah, I just feel like this will be such a good book to read before the end of the year so that I can, you know, have that reminder going into the new year. But those are 5 books that I plan on reading or am currently reading before the end of the year. I think I'll probably end up reading more than 5 books, but those are at least 5 that I will be reading that you can count on. So if you want to read any of them with me, let me know in the comments below if you're going to check out any any of these because I think it's always so fun to discuss with you guys. And of course, don't forget to check out Book of the Month. I will link them down below, as well as the discount code to get your first book for only $9.99. And if you've read a great book recently that you think I would love, leave me a comment below. I would love to check that out. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah!